Hey folks, Mitri here, and I recently got finished playing Devil May Cry 5. Well, the normal mode anyway. If you've played a Devil May Cry game before, you know that the normal mode is only the beginning. The real game begins at Son of Sparta and beyond. But anyway, as a longtime fan of this series, I I wanted to sort of gather my thoughts. This is kind of like a review, basically. I don't usually do this, but I kind of felt like I had to. Going into this game, I had a lot of hopes. I had a lot of expectations and even a lot of anxiety. I've gathered my thoughts into a script because, in case you can't tell, I'm not very good at talking off the cuff. I know, right? Surprise. Anyway, Devil May Cry 5. It was everything I wanted it to be, and more. Holy hell. After all these years, it was well worth the wait. I know Kingdom Hearts fans have had to wait a while for KH3, but at the very least there were spin-off games to mitigate the wait, even if they made the story more and more convoluted. Devil May Cry, on the other hand, had been dead for over a decade. DMC4, while fun, left things on a bit of a sour note, with the story essentially rushed and incomplete. Dante's half of the game was basically Nero's backwards, with slight deviation. He fought most of the same bosses, minus the best one, being Credo. And his only unique level was the Savior, and the less said about the Savior, the better. Anyway, the series was put on ice after that until the dreaded reboot, which turned our fun-loving, crazy pizza man Dante into a foul-mouthed, mean-spirited, nihilistic douchebag. We refer to him as Dante, or Dino, Dante in name only. It's been hard being a fan of Devil May Cry, having to watch something you love not only die, but get turned into a shambling abomination. Kind of like Star Wars right now, but that's a rant for another day. Today I'm here to gush, because the dark ages of DMC are well and truly behind us. If the reboot was hate mail to fans, DMC5 is a love letter, in every sense. The gameplay is the best the series has ever had. Each of the three characters are unique and fun in their own way, and Nero and Dante very much feel like the definitive versions of these characters, with Dante's arsenal of weapons being particularly crazy. They've never been more versatile. There are options upon options for everyone to enjoy. The levels are very well crafted, with the environments looking absolutely stunning, likewise with character models, and the enemy variety is incredible. Where DMC4 felt incomplete, this game is the absolute opposite. It feels full, and has probably the most bosses of any game in the series. And the story, oh my god, the story. I'm not going to spoil anything. I really hate that on YouTube when you'll see a video which will have like story spoilers in the freaking thumbnail, or clickbaity title. Like, don't do that. If you do that, you're an asshole. I'm not calling anyone out in particular, but, you know. Anyway, the story, it's something you need to experience, especially if you're a fan of the series. It hits some incredible high notes. If you're new to DMC, I would definitely recommend playing at least DMC 1, 3, and 4. 1 is a great game, but its age very much shows. It can be a bit clunky at parts. Play it if you have the patience, but if not, at the very least watch a playthrough. DMC 3 and 4, on the other hand, if you haven't played those games, you're very much doing yourself a disservice. DMC 3 is just phenomenal. An incredible game. Absolute legend of the PS2 era. And DMC4, whilst narratively incomplete, it's still mechanically fantastic. And these games you can get fairly cheap now. It's definitely worth checking them out beforehand because you'll get so much more out of the story of DMC5 with that context. As with previous DMC games, the soundtrack here is also incredible. From Nero's absolutely stellar battle theme in Devil Trigger, to some really great ambient music, some awesome boss music, to even more emotional tracks like Legacy that can really tug on your heartstrings. It's a feast for the ears, helped by the new dynamic music system, where the higher your style rank, the more a song progresses, with the D rank giving you the instrumental, vocals kicking in at C and above, and the chorus kicking in and tempo being boosted at A+. It's an excellent addition that makes you want to learn to play better and rewards you for skill. This game is a masterpiece. Now, I know it's a bit of a cliche to claim something is Game of the Year material in like March, and I also, full disclosure, have a massive bias because I am a long-time fan of this series. I adore it, but this game is very much deserving of this praise. It stands shoulder to shoulder with Capcom's recent success stories like the Resident Evil 2 remake and Monster Hunter World. Capcom are killing it lately. After the dark ages of Capcom, it feels like a total redemption arc. In this game, it takes the very best of the Devil May Cry formula, refines it, and revels in it. And it feels like an effort to tie everything together. Even referencing materials not just from previous games, but the spin-off media, like the novels, manga, anime, stuff that previous games are quite notorious for tossing aside and rewriting. Devil May Cry 5, on the other hand, recontextualizes it all, paying respect to every aspect of the series, and as a longtime fan who's been playing since even before DMC1's release, back when I used to go to my friend's house and he had Resident Evil, I forget if it was Code Veronica or Code Veronica X, but it came with a demo of the original Devil May Cry. And that's how long we've been playing this series for. This it it means the world to see it not only back, but back better than ever. It's the devil you know and love.